Hello class, in this short video I want to give you a walkthrough of how you can kind of scan an online resource to determine if it's reliable. This is important when you're doing research. You want to learn how to distinguish between reliable and unreliable sources. There are some elements that you can look for that will go into your decision making. Choosing reliable resources is a critical thinking activity. So you're going to be looking at a number of factors when you decide if you want to use something for your research. This is an article about the U.S. opioid epidemic, clearly. And so the first thing I'm going to do as I kind of scan this page to see, do I think this is a reliable source, is look for the organization. Often you're going to see that in the URL address. This is from www.cfr.org, Council of Foreign Relations. .orgs are often pretty reliable. That means it's an organization. And in this case, I can see that there's different topics about different regions, different explainers, research and analysis. So this looks like a full-blown organization that is probably doing research, aggregation of data on multiple fronts. I can clearly see information about the writer. I can even click on the writer's biography. I can see that she's staff here. It's another web page within the same org website. It has links to her other work. So I could take a look at this to determine if I think that as a writer she's reliable. This is a web-based article, so it has an updated date. And so if timeliness is important in my research, I can understand when the article came from. It has some other elements that just make it look quite professional. There's a summary of 3 bullet points before the whole article. On the left, I have links to different sections of the article. On the right, I have related information. I do not see any kind of clickbait. I do not see advertising. I see a daily news brief from the organization, and having an email newsletter is very common for lots of reputable newspapers, organizations online. If I go to the end of the page, the bottom of the page, if I go to the bottom of the page, I can see a copyright date. It has a privacy policy. It has terms of use. It has an about, support, membership, contact. So this has lots of links, lots of information that lets me get a handle on whether or not I think that this organization has a particular slant, credibility, advantages or disadvantages, so I can really make a good decision about this. I don't see any red flags on here. So this is something that I would feel very comfortable using in a research project. That's one example of kind of doing a walkthrough of a resource online to see whether or not you think it's credible. Again, making this determination is a critical thinking activity, and the things you see may be different for different sources, maybe slightly different for print sources versus online sources. I hope this is helpful as you're thinking about analyzing and making judgments about sources that are going to be used for your research.